Hi everyone, Christina here from my Inky Corner, and today I will be making a card using some stamps and dies from a new company called La Pareja Creativa that my friend Tina created, and she has really nice images in Spanish, so you should totally check them out. Now I'm starting with a piece of white cardstock that measures 4 by 5 1/4, and I just die cut the words out of cheap white cardstock just to have a placement more or less where I want them in the card before I start the stamping, and I just use some temporary adhesive on them. That's the stamp set, and I'm just putting on blocks every stamp, every pine branch or twig or bough, I don't know the name, and I'm gonna be stamping them in a memento per tart and bamboo leaves, and I'm just gonna cover the bottom just right underneath the sentiment. I'm gonna create a layer first with one of the colors and then with the other one, but I'm gonna speed this up and I'll be back in a second. Okay, now I'm gonna get the 2 pine cones that come in the set, and I'm gonna stamp them twice using Cup of Joe mid-tone shadow ink from Hero Arts. I'm gonna cut them by hand, although the big pine cone has a coordinating die. So once I have all the pine cones cut, I'm gonna get out the gathered twigs, distress ink, and an ink applicator, and I'm gonna ink around the edges and just a bit over the center, just so the white is not so bright, but you still want the shadow on the edges of the pine cone. I'm gonna take out my cattle bag and using the word dies, the Feliz Navidad, I'm gonna cut them out of wax lips cardstock from Basel. It's my favorite red cardstock, especially for Christmas. And I'm gonna cut the bow. The bow is from another die set from La Pareja Creativa. This is a very nice bow. Now I'm gonna take off the white die cuts and just remove a bit of the sticky from the temporary adhesive and just add the new ones, the red ones, in the same place. The way I like to adhere these delicate die cuts is with a two-way stick glue pen. I think that's how it's called. Um, it is just a very nice glue. It's very easy to apply. I just do a small dots, and it is very good. It gets the job done, so I like it. And well, you don't want to put a lot so it doesn't like get messy, but just little dots kind of do it. And the die has you can't forget the little dots on the eyes, so I just put a dot of glue and add the dot to it. And now I'm gonna add the pine cone with foam dimensionals, so I'll just put it there right between the two words, and I'm gonna glue the die cut bow using the same glue, and I'll just place it right there underneath the pine cone. Now I'm gonna get the other 2 pine cones and I'm gonna glue them down. I just used the same glue just because it was out. You can use a tape runner or whatever you normally use. Um, but I'm just gonna put them like over the bow, but underneath the big pine cone on each side. And because it covered the bow a lot, I decided to put another bow over the top. And I don't know why I use a glue dot, but I thought it would be a good idea. I just had to fiddle with it so you couldn't see it from the front, and I don't know, probably the pen would have been better, but yeah. I didn't want it to be exactly in the same position as the bottom bow, just so it looks like a double bow. So yeah, they are not exactly in the same position. And I added an enamel dot just to the center. And it was bothering me that it didn't look the same on both sides. So I just had to add another stamped pine thingy. Yeah, so, and I decided to cut a bit of the top of the card just so it will be more centered. Just took off like 1/4 of an inch or something like that. The card base, I used the same red cardstock, the wax lips from Basil, and I'm just gonna adhere the panel using double-sided tape just because of the dimension in the front. It's just easier to apply. And I'll just put it in the center, and that's it. The card is done. Don't forget to visit the blog, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.